Hello and welcome to today's lesson. Look at this picture. What is it?
It is a mushroom.
Good, it is. Do you know that a mushroom is not a plant?
Oh, why isn't it a plant?
It's not a plant because it does not have chlorophyll, so it cannot make its own food. Mushrooms belong to a group called fungi. Fungi can be found almost everywhere. If you keep your bread for too long, do you notice a green coloring appearing on the bread?
Yes. What is it?
It's mold growing on the bread. Mold is an example of a fungi.
You mean there are many types of fungi?
Yes, fungi are of very different shapes and sizes. Juice ears, puff balls, and bracket fungi are some other examples of fungi. And do you know that although fungi are green in color, it cannot make its own food?
So if fungi cannot make food, what does it feed on?
Fungi feed on plants and animals, dead or alive. They also feed on things which are made from plants or animals.
But they do not have a mouth like animals, so how do they eat?
They break down their food into substances that they can absorb, and when they do this, they cause decay. Besides seeing mold on bread, where have you seen mold?
I've seen mold growing on fruits.
Good. That is what caused an apple to become bad. Mold feed on a lot of food that you eat. It breaks the food into smaller substances, and then it absorbs the nutrients, which is why bread and fruits become mushy after some time when mold grows on them. Do you know how fungi grow?
No. Can you tell me how they grow?
Well, fungi reproduce by producing spores. Spores are very small. They look like brown dust to your eye.
Where are the spores found?
In mushrooms, the spores are found in the gills. The tiny black dots you see growing on your bread are spore cases. Each spore case contains many spores inside.
How then do the spores get out?
When a fungus releases its spores, the wind will carry them in the air. Some of these spores will land on a suitable place. They will grow into new fungi.
Oh, so the spores are just like seeds.
They do have similar functions. Now, do you know that some fungi can cause disease?
I'm not sure.
Well, there are fungi that can cause diseases when they feed on other living organisms. These fungi affect plants, animals, and even other fungi.
Do we humans get affected too?
Yes, athlete's foot and ringworm are two fungal diseases in humans. Can you identify some edible and inedible mushrooms?
Let me see.
Now, tell me, did you get sick sometimes?
Yes, I do.
Do you know what caused you to get sick?
Germs in the air?
Yes, some germs. And can you see these organisms that make you sick?
Maybe with a microscope?
Yes. Now, have you baked a bread before?
Yes.
Good. How did you do it? Did you use yeast to make the bread rise?
Yes, I did.
Did you know that yeast is a type of microorganism?
Oh, what do you mean by microorganisms?
Microorganisms are a group of living things, and the word micro means tiny, and the word organism means living things.
So some examples of microorganisms are bacteria and yeast?
That's right. Do you remember that some microorganisms are harmful to us, and yet some are useful to us?
Yes, the harmful ones are the ones that spoil our food, and the useful ones, like the yeast, helps us to make bread fluffy, right?
Very good. Besides spoiling food, harmful microorganisms can also cause diseases such as vomiting and diarrhea. On the other hand, yogurt and cultured milk drinks, such as the Vitagen and Yakult which you enjoy drinking, contain millions of useful microorganisms which helps us in digestion.
So where can we find such microorganisms?
They can be found in soil, water, the food we eat, and even in the intestines of animals and humans.
Are these microorganisms harmful or useful?
Most of these are useful. For example, good bacteria found in our intestine help in digestion. In addition, bacteria are decomposers. They break down organic matter and return nutrients to the soil for plant growth. As for harmful ones found in the food we eat, they usually cause food poisoning, which symptoms are vomiting and diarrhea. Can you stop harmful bacteria from spreading?
Let me see.
Now let's recall what you've learned. Fungi are not plants. They are living things that feed on plants and animals, causing them to break down. Fungi reproduce by spores. Microorganisms are tiny living things. Bacteria and yeast are microorganisms that are either useful or harmful to us.